We're back at it again with another Universal Studios tour. Let's go.
We'll be out there for about 45 minutes to an hour taking a look at a real movie studio lot. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon.
How long do these last?
This one is like a 30-40 minute tour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's
Because
go.
it's gonna go around, you know, to like where they make the movies and everything.
Yeah.
Well, this, oh, I love coming here. Yeah, Bella doesn't like this. She's like, well, she doesn't like it, but she's like, I'm kind of bored already.
All right, y'all. We got the go-ahead to leave, so take out your best waving arms and wave bye to all the nice people.
I don't like the ones at Six Flags.
And then you never saw them again.
But this is fun.
Okay, y'all, in case you missed it, my name is Leanne. I am your tour guide. We've got Simon on the wheel, and actually I have a co-host I need to introduce you all to as well. You might know from The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, or That's My Jam with Jimmy Fallon. It's Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure the kids experience in one piece. We got the very best guy.
Leanne.
And the greatest driver.
Driver, Simon.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Leanne.
give me $5.
I do?
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Oh yes, that's right. We've got safety rules to go over first. If you need guest assistance, have a medical emergency, drop something of value off the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E-cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom,
All these movies that are right here,
and
they made
remain
them here.
seated. Please no smoking of any kind during our tour, and be prepared. Our tour
That's awesome.
features loud noises, and fire effects, and many water effects. You'll want to have your cameras out for good photo opportunity behind them so they don't get wet. And finally, for your safety and everyone's around you, please do not use selfie sticks while on board. Well, all right, here we go. We're moving on down what we call the movie timeline. I'm sure you're noticing we've got all these movie posters lining the way, and that's because we have made a lot of movies over the years, and we wanted to showcase a small sampling of, you know, some of our best. Now, Universal, where we are right now, it's not just a movie studio lot. We're passing by this fire station here. We are also a city. Back in 1914, Carl Laemmle founded Universal City. He wanted to create a city completely dedicated to the art of filmmaking, and he did just that. We were pretty small back then, only about 40 acres, but we've grown quite a lot since then. We are boasting over 400 acres here at Universal, making us the largest movie studio lot in Los Angeles, one of the largest in the world. And we're going to take a look at it right now. We've been super active and busy recently. You may have heard last year there was a strike for writers and actors fighting for better wages, better terms, and they were finally able to come to an agreement, which means we were finally able to get busy again here on the back lot. So I'm so excited to show you around today. Well, as we're moving forward, this is our front lot area. It houses the majority of our sound stages, these very large buildings with the big numbers on the side. Now, inside the sound stages, this is where about 80% of filming takes place. The majority of filming happens inside, and that's because we have full control over a situation in there. We can create any environment we want, indoors, outdoors, imaginary. We can create moonlight and sunlight and weather, so it's kind of at our fingertips. Now, this is kind of exciting. It's a Monday, right? So we're starting to get busy today. They just took the weekend off. You can look into the elephant doors here of stages 8 and 7. This is where they've been actively filming season 3 of Bel Air. You see, we've got the trucks, we've got some shrubbery outside here as well. So it looks like they're doing a little bit of a scenery change. They can build different sets and change them up, you know, build them up, break them down, put them into storage depending on what they're trying to film that day or that week. We're also going to pass by base camp here. We can see some costumes outside, some trucks and trailers. So base camp, this is basically where people are going to be spending their time when they're not on set. You know, maybe you're in your trailer, you're in makeup, wardrobe, maybe you're in a restroom, right? There's a lot of things we can set up in what is essentially a giant parking lot. They're also filming inside of stage 14, one of our largest sound stages. Now, Bel Air, this is actually a dramatic retelling of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's a comedy I grew up watching as a kid. Stars Will Smith. It has a laugh track. Ours is a little bit different. It's darker. It's a drama, and it stars Jabari Banks.
Imagine my man the way we're making a movie right now. Oh my god. Me lanzo de este carro por fuera.
The whole Bel Air cast and crew. Everybody want to be some magic. You're looking at that. Yeah. Some magic moves right here on Universal Lot. Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments? I don't know. There's so many to choose from. You know, out here in the film set when Will first enters, they have that line about to change his life. What about you? Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I'm really having to sit in that cold ice bath, so that was really cool. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together. Hair, wardrobe, makeup, set design, props, and transportation. Yes! No, Transpo's the best. It's like the smoothest ride for us to play with. So speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to the hotel. Yeah, that sounds great. As long as I get to drive. Oh, no, I've got the keys. Oh, man.
You can catch seasons 1 and 2 of it streaming on Peacock. We've got a little bit of a scenery change now, passing by our bungalows briefly here, all these tan buildings with all the plants outside. Back in the 1950s and 60s, we used bungalows as dressing rooms for some of the hottest stars in Hollywood, like Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, Rock Hudson. But they're very large in size, right? Typically, we use trailers as the dressing rooms for all of our stars. We're using our bungalows as office spaces for all the different production companies we've got here on the back lot. For example, Mark Platt Productions, they did the La La Land movie. They'll soon be bringing us the Broadway musical Wicked in 2 movies with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. And we're going to start heading into our Metropolitan set area in just a moment. This is one of our outdoor sets. They've actually closed off some of the sets today because they're setting up for filming for season 3 of Bel Air, the show I was talking about earlier. We've got a straight shot down of New York Street. They've added some cars I can see. They've actually also added some signage to some of the windows and stuff like that. We can change up the area very, very easily. And speaking of New York Street, my co-host Jimmy has spent a lot of time in New York, so I'm going to let him take over for a moment.
Everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's that bug doing there? That old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on Universal Lot.
So with this area, it's really all about, what we're bringing into the space to decorate it that's going to help the audience recognize the location. What are people wearing? What kinds of cars are there? Even little details like what are the lampposts styled as? That can change up what kind of city we're representing to them. Now, as we pull in, take a look to your right. You're going to see a bunch of cranes, some cars. So they're setting up really actively right now. We can see some behind-the-scenes stuff going on right now. Looks like they're in Courthouse Square. Now, this area is super popular because of how versatile it is. This area is London Square, a bit more of a European flair, but we've also got New York Street, right? A bit more metropolitan. Courthouse Square, which is a bit more of a hometown vibe to it. So we can really easily move around, change up what kinds of cities we're representing. Now, this area here, we've got this gardenscape set up outside of this orange-colored building. This is brand new. They just set that up within a few days. It's for a new comedy coming to Netflix starring Ted Danson called A Classic Spy. I haven't seen them filming anything yet, but I'm very excited. Ted Danson has a very long history with us here at NBC and Universal, right? They did Cheers. He did Cheers with us. He did The Good Place. He also did Mr. Mayor with us, so he's back on our backlot again, filming another comedy. Very exciting. A lot of the buildings that we've got around us, these are actually very versatile as well. We can change up the appearance of these buildings very, very easily. The brick wall and the cement that we see around us, right? This is not what it appears to be. Compressed fiberglass, plaster, and plastic are usually what make up the exteriors of these buildings. And they're not even fully fledged buildings. They're kind of shells of buildings. You know, the outside, the exteriors are just what are usable for filming. They're what we call facades. We've also got a few semi-practical sets out here as well, meaning we can use some of the inside. So if you look into certain windows, sometimes you just see a bunch of boards, right? That is a building where it would just be a facade, but the windows where you can see spaces we could decorate, semi-practical. We have 1 or 2 spaces inside that we can decorate, and we can, you know, create kind of continuity with that. Maybe it's someone's walking by a window and you see inside the store someone's buying a coffee. Well, then it's gonna feel like you're in a real city. Now, it looks like New York Street is very, very busy right now. Lots of cars they've just put out there. I'm assuming they're gonna be representing Los Angeles, right? It's Bel Air. It has the location in the name, so I'm excited to see what they're doing out here, although I saw some old-timey cars out here too, and that's the fun thing, right? We can change up eras as well. What era is the car from? The hairstyle, the outfits. This area has been Baltimore in the 1960s for Hairspray Live. For one of our TV shows, Quantum Leap, starring Raymond Lee and Ernie Hudson, they get to travel through time and location. So, you know, 1 week New York Street was Boston in the 80s, and a few weeks later it was San Francisco in the 90s. It's all about the details that we're gonna bring into this space. And you know, also the people, not just the actors, but the background actors play a huge role in what we're trying to create as well, making it feel like a real location, a real city. Now, it's played Chicago for the Blues Brothers. It was London for Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Of course, New York Street has also played New York for lots of superhero movies, you know, like Spider-Man and Captain America. And we can do some pretty crazy things out here that we definitely couldn't get away with if we were filming in a real city, right? For example, in the Blues Brothers, they caused damage to the ground right underneath us.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, good idea.
When people ask me, all of the movies I've ever done, what was the most satisfying, the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive, and train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's guest because just you walk into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing. We couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him. We saw a light on in this one house and knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here. We're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago. He's sleeping. He was America's guest. I mean, literally that happened.
And we've also had a lot of music videos filming out in our metropolitan set area recently. I would say specifically K-pop music videos. I don't know if anyone else on board is a K-pop stan like I am, but Jisoo from Blackpink, with her solo debut Flower, she came here to film the music video. I cried when I found out. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm a huge K-pop stan. And then Jungkook from BTS with his solo debut, Seven, right? Used the same sets, but the way that they shoot them, they look like completely different locations. And then I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I haven't watched the music video yet, but TXT with Chasing That Feeling, they filmed out here as well. So we've got some things out here that maybe you wouldn't even expect, even a competition show. American Ninja Warrior comes and films on our metro sets every year. They'll set up one of their courses on New York Street. It looks like they're in a real city, and they'll even wait for the sun to go down. They'll do night shoots, so they've got all these bright lights to really make it feel like you're in this big, bright city, when really they're just on a pretty short road right here on the back lot at Universal. Now, when it comes to decorating, we can't always, you know, create those full cityscapes. If we're doing London for Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, we could do stuff like bring in double-decker buses, the Union Jack flags, right? Cars are driving in the opposite location than they would be in America, but what about the London Eye, right? What about that giant structure in the background? We're not gonna waste all of our money and resources into creating something that we're then gonna have to spend a lot of money putting into storage later. We're going to utilize CGI, computer-generated images, to create that. So we're gonna leave this concrete jungle behind and we'll head into a CGI jungle next. Here to introduce that is Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. See it regularly on TV. I like films that just pull you away from your life and sweep you up the creature. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled the universe invited me back this time. it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Don't worry, folks. I'll let you know the perfect moment to put on those glasses. A quick reminder to please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Let's bring Peter back to tell us a little bit more about what we're about to experience.
Oh no.
The Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough
this
narrow
spot.
trail in Skull Island, allowing visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife at Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film. And this is, another day, another incident on Skull Island, using the features and the character and personality of Kong as he appeared in the movie.
All right, everybody, start putting on those 3D glasses and prepare yourselves. We're going to go to Skull Island.
It's like King Kong one.
Yeah. I'm nervous.
No, it's fine. Nothing scary about it.
Yeah.
Back in Skull Island.
Large movie screens. They're 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide on both sides, creating a 360 all the way around.
Yeah.
The special effects we just saw, those are coming to Peter Jackson's FX company, Weta FX, based out of New Zealand. They bring effects to his movies, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the Hobbit trilogy, King Kong, of course, but they help out lots of other TV shows and movies like The Last of Us, Shang-Chi, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the Planet of the Apes movies. They also worked on both Avatar films. They won their 7th Academy Award for their work on Avatar, The Way of Water. They also got a shout out yesterday at the Oscars, which, by the way, the Oscars, insane yesterday. We swept with Oppenheimer. That is one of ours here at Universal. 7 awards for Oppenheimer last night. Very exciting. By the way, if you want to catch Oppenheimer now that you know what an award winner it is up and streaming on Peacock already for you to check out. So it's there. Go check it. It's a long movie, I know. So if you want to take it, one piece at a time, that's fine. I don't blame you. It's a good time though. Okay, friends. Now you might have noticed We lost one of our tram cars inside of King Kong 360 3D. I hope no one had any friends or family seated on that fourth car, because we're not getting them. I'm just kidding. The fourth car is there. It was all CGI. We're fine. Now, as soon as that happened, the tram car got an official title. It is now what we call a picture car. Now, this is a title that pretty much any vehicle can get once it makes it onto screen. It doesn't have to be a car. It could be a boat, a train, a motorcycle, an airplane, a tractor. I mean, think of a vehicle. If it makes it on screen, it's a picture car. Speaking of picture cars, I've got a whole bunch of Universal picture cars coming up here on the left for you to take a look at. Starting off with the gorgeous yellow 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe from American Graffiti. That was George Lucas's breakout directorial film before Star Wars, and it was the first time he ever worked with Harrison Ford. I love Back to the Future. We've got a few cars from the Back to the Future trilogy. The second movie is my personal favorite in that trilogy, but we can fight about that later. For my Potter heads, we've got the Ford Anglia from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That's the car that the Weasleys used to break Harry out of the Dursleys to get him to Hogwarts in time, right, in the second film. And maybe, you know, we've got some cars you wouldn't expect to see here, like the Crawdaddy boat from Jordan Peele's film Us, or a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle, this big tank-looking guy from Transformers. We had two vehicles from our Jurassic franchise, right, like the Gyrosphere from Jurassic World. And here at Universal, Jurassic is actually one of our most successful franchises. We've got 2 trilogies under our belt, so we thought, actually, wouldn't it be fun if we showed everyone a bit more of a behind-the-scenes look at more picture cars, like the iconic Jeep coming up on our right, as well as some set pieces, some props, maybe even some dinosaurs, which they're in cages, don't worry. But oh, actually, my friend sent over this video for us to watch as we're entering because he couldn't be here today. Let's see.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's nice of him. Thanks, John. Well, I grew up on the original trilogy myself. Big fan of dinosaurs and special effects and Spielberg, so it's kind of like a win-win-win for me, right? And the special effects are very impressive all throughout the 6 movies, although the very first film made history with the way it utilized CGI. It was the first film to ever combine the technologies of CGI with stop motion to create movement of several dinosaurs on screen at one time. Originally, they were just going with stop motion. This is, you know, taking photos of something moving very, very slowly over and over again to make it look like it's moving very quickly, right? But it wasn't giving Spielberg the effect that he wanted, and so they got outside. Okay, don't panic, don't panic. It's just our Dilophosaurus. They seem to have gotten out of our cages and they wanted to greet everybody. I promise, we genetically modify our dinosaurs, so it's not acid. It's a very hydrating lotion. Rub it in. You're gonna look great in the morning, little Hollywood secret, you know. So, of course, we don't just use CGI when we're doing special effects. We also use lots of practical effects, and those are the ones that happen right in front of the camera as it's rolling. For example, in Jurassic, the dinosaurs where they use puppetry and animatronics to make them move still looks really good to this day. Those are practical effects. The environments where it looks like they're outside, but they're actually inside of a sound stage. That big greenery is a practical effect. Or the weather, right? Weather plays a huge role in not just Jurassic, but most movies and TV shows, but it doesn't matter where we're filming, Los Angeles, somewhere else. We don't know if the weather's gonna give us what we need that day. We usually have to make it happen for ourselves. Welcome to Old Mexico. Let's do a little rainstorm. We're starting off with some thunder and lightning here. Everything has to be hidden, right? Lights for the lightning, speakers for the thunder, and sprinklers for the rain. We're trying to make this all look as real as possible, but unfortunately, real rain is very difficult to capture on camera. We have to give ourselves little boosters here and there, like making the rain droplets larger than natural rain would be, so it's easier to spot. We also heavily rely on light. You know, the sun is out right now, so we have a pretty good shot of the droplets, but as soon as it starts to get cloudier, darker out in the sky, we're gonna have to start to rely on our own lighting sources, backlightings that we brought into the location to really make sure that there is a pop of these droplets for the camera. What is that? Oh gosh, we've got a flash flood coming in. Stay seated, please. This is coming in close. everyone. We just survived the oldest feature on the back lot, the Flash Flood. This opened up back in 1968, if you can believe it. Although personally, I remember this from a movie from my childhood called Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. Put on those cowboy boots, everybody. We're heading into the Old West next. Welcome to 6 Points. This area got its name back in our silent era when movies had no sound. We had 6 different points we could film in at the same time without disturbing one another. Hence the name 6 Points. And you know, it stuck around even once we moved it to the talkies, or the talking era, as we call it, when movies started to gain sound. People like Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart came right here and filmed some of their most iconic Western movies.
Mine was taller.
All right, partners, we're about halfway through the tour. It's my time to officially remind you to remain seated, keeping those arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. I'll be back to assist you. Well, this set here at 6 Points is one of our oldest sets here on Universal. It opened with us back in 1914 on our grand opening day. But I would say Universal isn't necessarily known for its westerns. It's known for its monster movies, right? Dracula, Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I could keep going. It's a long list. And we've only continued to work with all different kinds of masters of the art, right? Horror masters like Alfred Hitchcock, he's the master of suspense, or people more recently like Jordan Peele, really making a buzz with their new kinds of scary movies, right? Or, you know, we even host the Halloween Horror Nights event every single year to kind of celebrate all of the horror history that's happened here at Universal.
When we think of Universal, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The Invisible Man,
Phantom of the Opera.
Classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image. Flatman. Balls. It's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. And I was just mesmerized by these movies. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios movie being really scary movie. It's still making on the movies now. I love it.
All this talk about monsters is putting me in the mood to go monster hunting, and I heard there is a monster of a shark over at Amity Island. There was a shark sighting this morning, so I asked Simon to drive us past the water, you know, maybe see if we can spot a fin or two. Now, of course, sharks are dangerous, so I want us to stay seated, you know, remain on the tram, keep those arms and legs inside, just like I've been saying. I don't want anyone to lose a limb today. Well, looks like they've still got their diver out there, Dave. I was speaking to him a little bit earlier. He is their aquatics expert, knows everything there is to know about sharks. Hey, Dave, how's it looking out there? Dave? I don't think he sees you. Dave, it's Leanne. Hi. Hey, what's going on? Hey, do you have friends in the water with you? What are you guys doing? Looking for something there? Maybe they found something cool, like a chest with treasure in it. Dave? Where'd he go? All right, he must be busy. All right, bud, we'll catch you later. Nice guy. Well, I'm sure he'll catch up with us later. Let's wait by the dock here. Maybe we could set up on the beach, you know, do a little bonfire. Or, oh, where's the dock going? Dave, is that you? Remain seated, please.
It's actually hot.
Stay seated. Woo! All right, check your fingers, check your toes, check your babies. Are we all in one piece? We're all together, right? I am. Okay. Whew, well, that was a close one. That shark was intense, right? But I will say, that shark actually worked a lot better than the shark they used in the movie Jaws. It's not the same shark. Ours works at million times better. Theirs kept breaking down, kept pushing production back. Originally, winter was supposed to be when Jaws came out in theaters, but it ended up coming out in the summer.
That's much more why the shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all. Wherever you were on island, you could hear the radio. They were always saying, the shark is not working. The shark is not working. We just waited around. We just waited. The shark was working low enough to go wild there and increase his whole time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
The summer release ended up working out for them too. Jaws was a hit. It became known as the first summer blockbuster, and it put director Steven Spielberg on the map. This was the first major project he'd really ever been put in charge of. Now we're starting to go through our residential area here. It's like a little neighborhood, right? We've got Elm Street on the left. We've got, the Chicken Ranch house here. Now, fun fact, the Chicken Ranch house got its name from the literal chicken ranch that used to be here on the Universal backlot. When we started, we weren't sure if movies were going to take off or not. So just in case, we also had a business in poultry. People who came to visit our backlot could also walk away with a dozen eggs. But movies ended up taking off for us, and originally what was just eggs became also chicken dinners as well. We're going to take a look at Colonial Street here. Looks like they've got some cranes going on there. Now, Colonial Street, this is one of our most popular streets for filming, and they recently used it for a new TV show for ours on Peacock called Ted. Ted is a prequel series to the movies Ted and Ted 2. Takes place in 1993 Boston. Seth MacFarlane has actually returned to voice the teddy bear as well as direct. And here, I'll let him tell you a little bit more.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at our Peacock original event series, TED. It's a prequel series set in 1993, and that means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston to the look back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, TED is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch. Oh, come on!
If you didn't catch Ted, you probably might recognize the street from other shows and movies. For example, Desperate Housewives. This was Wisteria Lane, although of course we have removed the wisteria. However, the house at the very end of the cul-de-sac that we're passing by right here, this two-toned green and tan, that is the house that they burned down in the very first episode of Desperate Housewives. And that's kind of the stuff that we can get away with here on the backlot. You know, burn houses down, crash planes into them. For Ted, we covered the whole street in snow. I mean, fake snow, right? Because we're in Los Angeles and snow doesn't fall here. But, you know, if we tried to pull that off in a location shoot, if we tried to pull that off filming outside of a real person's home or business, we'd probably get in a lot of trouble. Burning someone's house down, that is jail time, buddy. Well, let me show you. No, we don't just do crazy things. We make it look like a normal neighborhood as well. It was where Davey lived in Never Have I Ever on Netflix, starring Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, and so much more. I'll show you on screen. Everybody, we're about 15 minutes to the end of the tour, 1-5. So we'll be returning to the theme park shortly. Again, as a reminder, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. If you need my assistance, don't hesitate to pull that red cord. The street we're pulling up on right now, this is not just a regular street, it's also a filming location. We call this Wilderness Road, probably because of all the wilderness around us right now. This kind of represents the outdoorsy areas that we need to represent when we don't have the time to go to the real woods or a jungle. We can set up shop right here on Wilderness Road. We can actually cover up the ground underneath us with dirt, with extra plant life, really fill it out and make it look like a different location than where we are right now. And it's become such a popular location that other studios have come in to use it as well. Netflix used it for their Bird Box film starring Sandra Bullock, or 911 on Fox with Angela Bassett used this area a few times. You know, sometimes they're looking for evidence, or one time they had a car flip over. And oh look, we've got a little bit of construction going on in one of our alien attack sites. This plane that we see completely dismantled, a very real 747 aircraft. This is from War of the Worlds, directed by Steven Spielberg. Hopefully you'll come back and see us soon. You can see what they're doing over there. Now this plane is very real, like I said. It's $60,000 that he spent just to purchase it, $200,000 to transport it to set. Steven Spielberg does not like to waste any money when it comes to creating the most realistic environments for his movies. He likes to go all out, and you know, that way he gets the most realistic reactions out of his actors as well. It makes an impact on the audience too. Now we're going to take a look at a different alien attack site next. This is from Jordan Peele's film Nope. We're going to go to Jupiter's Claim, one of our newer additions to the backlot. Originally, these sets were out in the desert for the film, but Jordan Peele contacted us, and asked if we could actually add these to the backlot, and we were not going to pass up on that opportunity.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupiter. Over there, look into the winking room and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Everyone else hears that noise too, right? That wasn't just me hearing things. Hello? Is there somebody out there? I hear a voice. Shh, I hear a voice. Happy trip. Okay, it's telling us to leave. I love that. You know, when a disembodied voice tells you to get out, you listen. My mom taught me that. Okay, we're gonna get out. We're gonna shake it off and shift gears. Shift gears, pun intended, because I am about to cast each and every one of you in one of our hottest franchises here at Universal, The Fast and the Furious. I've been practicing the noise. I promise I'm gonna get better at it. Okay, let me catch you up on the plot. Very serious. One of you here is a witness. Don't tell me who. You've witnessed something that the fugitive Owen Shaw has done, and now he's after us. He's after this very tramp. But lucky for you, I am friends with the family. They've graciously allowed us to hide out here in Sullivan's garage. So for the last time, you know, a quick reminder, please remain seated. Keep those arms and legs inside. And oh, looks like we're getting a transmission here. Hello?
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason you just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are.
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come, and he'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you state guys stepping in just whenever you feel like it.
Mute him.
Don't you...
That's better. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. I'm taking care of business. Hobbs out.
Is that your mat?
This is Agent Novak with an FBI alert about individuals who are not authorized to be involved in the witness protection operation I'm heading up with my FBI team. Be on alert for Dominic Toretto, an ex-convict who has broken laws throughout the U.S. and around the world. Despite his checkered past, Toretto and his crew were recruited by Agent Luke Hobbs to assist U.S. diplomatic security missions and was granted a pardon for the crimes he committed. Is a street racer and mechanic on Dom's crew. She's particularly vicious when protecting Dom. Her ordeals have impaired her memory, but she always remembers two things. She's got Dom's back, and he has hers. Look out for Roman Pierce, another valued member of Dom's crew. He's an ex-con and a street racer who's into fast cars and beautiful women. Not necessarily in that order. Special agent with the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. You should ignore him. Hobbs has joined forces with Dom's crew to track down the criminal mastermind, Owen Shaw. You should be most on your guard against is Owen Shaw, a vicious and unpredictable criminal mastermind. He was a major in British Special Ops before embarking on a series of ruthless international crime heists.
Hey folks, at this point you probably picked up on the fact we're experiencing a little bit of Los Angeles traffic here on the Universal Backlot. Classic. So bear with me, I'll update you as soon as I know what's going on, whether we get to move forward or whether this technical issue might be the end of our tour. So sit tight, we'll still have a good time, I promise.
Say something. You guys
También es una película que se llama My Name is Sam, I Am Sam. Sam, ¿no? Yeah, he's like, tiene una enfermedad con esta. Sí, le doy una niñita muy fácil. ¿Eso es lo que se igual que la otra. Ya se gets scared, huh? She's gonna be like, yeah.
There's a cut for you. I can't think of anything to say. Time to rock and roll. Bring the noise. We're on here.
All right, y'all. Some good news and some bad news. The good news is they caught the bad guys, and we don't need to run from them anymore. But the bad news means that is the end of our tour. We're gonna head back to unload. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today on this beautiful day. Thank goodness the rain stopped. I hope you enjoyed your time here on the back lot. Come back and see us again soon. Things are always changing. We've got some exciting things in store for you for the 60th anniversary of the Universal Studio Tour. That's right, we've been around for 60 years, if you can believe it. I think we've even got a fun behind the scenes look at this boat and a jaw shark. That's cool. See, we would not have seen this if we didn't get to go to Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, friends. I want to give a big shout out to our driver, Simon, today for keeping us safe out on the road. Thank you, Simon. We're going to get you back to unload in just a moment. As we're heading back, make sure you've got all your personal items with you, all your personal children. Don't forget to return those super stylish 3D glasses into the blue boxes when you're exiting. And if you haven't done so already, download the Universal Studios Hollywood app. You can see when the park closes, check wait times for rides and attractions, show times for Water World. You can also access a map. So if you were having trouble getting around so far today, download the app. You'll be able to find the location so much easier.